How's it going, everybody? I'm Brooks,
I'm Joe.
and this is another episode of Cantina Reviews.
Today we're talking about Deadpool 2.
So yeah, we're talking about movies.
And specifically, we're talking about
Another Disney movie.
superhero movies. Not a Disney movie, actually.
Not a Disney movie.
Anyway, yeah, Deadpool 2. Deadpool 2.
So you probably have already seen it by now. Chances are.
I would assume if you're watching this, you saw
review.
it.
Yeah, you've seen
I would
it.
hope you saw it.
So Joe's going to do his thing.
Full spoilers.
Full spoilers.
I mean,
Not
really.
super in depth, but enough.
Yeah. Really, I mean, the plot is pretty straightforward. I think with this kind of movie, like the ride, it's more about the ride than like the actual story.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
more about the journey.
It's like it's somewhat of a revenge story, but it's also somewhat of a
coming together story.
Yeah.
Team building. Yeah.
Basically, we pick up in Deadpool 2. He's doing the mercenary thing, which leads to his wife, girlfriend. They start talking about having a baby, and I'm like, she's done. She's gone.
Yeah, you've started to emotionally invest in this couple.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they were in the first one too, so.
Well, like more.
More, yeah.
Like you're reminded that they're like a thing. Joe.
She dies. He kind of goes off the deep end. The X-Men try to get him joined, like Colossus and Negasonic, whatever girl.
Yeah. X-People.
Yeah. And then they come across a kid who's a mutant, but he's in this like kind of orphanage house, and the guy that runs the house is like trying to like convert them to normal and like experimenting on them and shit. So the movie really starts to become about saving this kid, and then at the same time you have Cable, played by Josh Brolin, coming from the future.
Big summer for him.
Oh, big summer for him. He comes from the future to kill the kid, because as it turns out, the kid will grow up based on events that may happen in this movie and kill his family. I thought that was an interesting spin.
Yeah.
There are some great Deadpool versus Cable moments, and then eventually Cable joins the team, which makes it even more of a fun finale. I thought.
It does.
Yeah.
Very fun finale.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember in the comics, like Cable and him like work together.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm interested to see how the movie will play that out.
Right.
So yeah, I did enjoy that because it's more of like one of those like it's like a funny relationship.
Yes.
Because it's like Cable is not into it at all.
Yeah.
And Deadpool is obviously super like into it. So just to see that back and forth is like hysterical.
I was actually just watching like an interview with them before this, and Josh Brolin was saying is like, yeah, like you know, Deadpool's funny, but he's much funnier playing against me, standing around grunting about it, than it would be if he was just prancing around by himself.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's true, that kind of dynamic of him really playing the straight character, like the straight ahead character, and Deadpool like messing with him and joking with him and stuff, and him just not being amused even at all. I thought worked really well.
Yeah.
The jokes were really funny in this movie.
They were great.
It definitely does a lot to subvert your expectations, which seems to be the big theme of movies this year.
Yeah.
Ever since
Just like
Last
playing
Jedi.
off like, oh, it's not what you thought.
Right.
Yeah. Which I guess is good. I like that nowadays. Because it's like, that's the thing. Like, you go into the movies thinking like, oh, this is what it's going to be about.
Yeah.
And it's like...
Well, what's interesting, and I went back and watched the commercial, the X-Force, the original X-Force that they really played up in these commercials.
Terry Crews and everything.
Terry Crews and
Brad Pitt?
Brad Pitt. And what's his name? The guy that he played Pennywise in the new It movie. Alexander Skarsgård.
Yeah.
Skarsgård. They all die.
Yeah.
Instantly.
They're in the movie for like literally 10 minutes tops.
And like, it's funny because they actually shot scenes specifically for the trailers of them fighting people.
Yeah.
So those scenes in the trailer are not in the movie, and they did it on purpose. Because they were
liked
like, we really want to play up this X-Force thing for the commercial, but then it doesn't actually happen in the movie.
Yeah.
And I was dying laughing.
That was hysterical.
During that entire sequence.
And they all just died.
Yeah.
Like when Terry Crews came in and smacked that bus and his head like blew up, it was funny because like what you're saying, like you thought it was going to be about that team.
Right.
And then instantly Terry Crews bashes his head on the front of a bus and he's dead.
Right.
And it's like, what?
And it's not like doesn't subvert your expectations in a way that leaves you upset, because like you still have the team that eventually gets built between like Deadpool, Colossus, Negasonic, her girlfriend,
Right.
Cable, and like you end up like you're already invested in these people,
Right.
so it works even better as a team.
Mm-hmm. Well, I like that they kept the lucky girl.
Oh yeah, her too.
Like I liked her out of all of them. I liked her the best.
They did a lot of cool like
stuff with her.
Stuff like when Deadpool's like, "Oh, luck isn't a power." That's not cinematic enough. Mm-hmm. And they did some really awesome scenes.
Yeah,
like,
where she just happened to.
I like that these movies like even with like Negasonic, taking these characters that like haven't really been used or anything, or like Domino, and like making something cool with them.
Yeah.
And like doing something interesting. Mm-hmm. There's like controversy and there's like anti-controversy with this movie right now, which I didn't realize until I kind of looked into it last night after seeing it. One, the violence. People are complaining about how we're so desensitized. Mm-hmm. I actually have to say that I disagree with the violence being that bad in this movie. I feel like it's so cartoony that it's almost more like watching a Wile E. Coyote cartoon or Tom and Jerry.
Yeah, like I don't realize that it's like a real people thing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Because they're talking about like, oh, Deadpool breaks his back and we laugh. Oh, Deadpool gets ripped in half and we laugh.
It's like that's a character.
And it's like, but it's so cartoony that it's like, it's not like I would laugh at that in real life.
Yeah.
Or it's not like I would laugh at that in any other movie.
Yeah, exactly. Like, this is just a different feeling.
If a person got ripped in half in like a horror movie, you would be like, oh god. Yeah. But like Deadpool gets ripped in half and he's still talking.
Yeah, exactly.
And like
and he grows baby legs.
Yeah, yeah.
That was great.
I feel like I don't know. I feel like specifically with this movie, it's just it's violent, but it's a cartoony kind of violence.
Right. Yeah.
And then on the opposite side, on like another side of it, which I guess there's some weight to this one. I feel like there's value to the argument, but then they also sort of make up for it. There's this thing in comics. There's like a trope, and the thing about Deadpool, the movies, and even the comic, is it's all about subverting the usual comic book tropes.
Right. Yeah.
But there's a big comic book trope called a chilling of like or refrigerating of like women in comics, and where it came from. Apparently, there was like a Green Lantern comic where his girlfriend or whoever was like brutally murdered and thrown in a refrigerator for him to find. And it's become sort of a trope throughout comics that a female character has to die for the sole purpose of giving a story to the male character. And giving like an arc or a development to the male character. And like, everyone's like, oh, Deadpool thinks it's so subversive, yet it uses this very obvious trope. Some people see it differently because he reverses it in the end credit scene. Other people, like, I'm kind of on this side. It's like, yeah, okay, I think you're right. That is like a very common thing, and it was a character that had been built up in the first movie, and she just kind of dies to inform this story.
Right.
But at the same time, this is actually the first time we've had like an openly gay superhero couple, and they don't make a thing about it.
Yeah, exactly.
None of the jokes are about them as a couple at all.
Yeah, which I liked a lot.
Yeah, and it's actually just it's hilarious. Anything Deadpool does with them is him just talking about how cute the one girl is.
Yeah.
And it's so funny.
Yeah, like, I like it because it's not, like, in your face like a lot of other
things.
Well,
and I read an article and it was like, that's exactly how it should be in 2018. So as campy and funny and self-referencing as the movie is, it actually does a little bit of moving us forward.
Right, yeah, definitely.
Where you can have, like, a gay couple in a movie and, like, there's nothing about it. Because they're just a couple.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, like, Deadpool is, like, because it is a Marvel movie, it's one of those ones that a lot of people will see and, like, start to, like you're saying, like, move us forward. Yeah.
Well, that too.
Well, yeah, just because, like, it's a Marvel movie and people love Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
I just think, like, breaking the norm, whatever it is, whatever you want to say. It's not like, it's like when I like Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Or I like Spider-Man, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, it's different.
Right.
And that's why I like it. Guardians of the Galaxy, it's like, it's not Iron Man, Thor, Captain America. Like, they're completely different types of superheroes, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, like, it's not your typical Marvel movie where, like Colossus says, like, we don't kill people.
Yeah.
But it does.
Yeah.
And I like it because they do that.
And I think this movie, out of probably most of the X-Men movies, like, I mean, the X-Men in general, when it started, it was like a metaphor for, like, minorities and how they're treated, even back when it began. And this one did actually a good job of, like, really getting into the mindset of, like, the opposite side that hates them. And they're, like, trying to convert them, like conversion therapy and stuff like that. And I mean, like it's just weird that it's good, but it's weird that like something that's like primarily like a very violent comedy is also doing all this other stuff really well.
Yeah, like pulling in like today times.
Yeah.
And, like just showing you like in a different way that this is what this actually is. You know what I mean?
And like before anyone, thinks it's now that the way I've described it, it's like a snowflake movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It does the opposite side of it by him. He makes all of these like very like social justice warrior type jokes, which are funny too.
Yeah.
They bring in Black Tom, which is I never even knew who that was, but apparently he was going to be more of a major villain in the movie, and due to budget cuts, they like pretty much cut him. Okay. But the actor was like, "I'll do it anyway." Like, why not? And like, there's a big ongoing joke that Cable's a racist because he kills him, and it's just like it's a white guy with dreads, and he kills him, and he's like, "You killed Black Tom, you racist."
Yeah, that's funny.
Just like funny stuff, yeah, like playing off of those like social issues that everyone gets so upset about nowadays. Like it does a lot for what it is.
Yeah, I like how he's walking down the hall, and he's like, "The studio can't throw us a bone. They can't give us anybody. Like they can't give us like Hugh Jackman or like the pigeon guy. Like where's he? What are they doing?" And it's like, what is it? Beast? What's his name?
They open the door. He goes past the door in the mansion, and it's like the entire like Days of
all
Future
of
Past
them.
cast,
Yeah,
just sitting there. And apparently, like when they were shooting Dark Phoenix, they shot that scene with the whole cast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They're already there.
Yeah.
How convenient.
Which was pretty funny.
But yeah, that was funny.
And then
I like how they break the fourth wall a lot.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, I feel like it works better than it like should.
Yeah.
Like, and
Yeah,
I really enjoyed this one.
Yeah, like when they do that in other movies, it's like, oh,
yeah,
ha. You know what I mean? But it's like in this, it's like, it works.
I just feel like, and like Ryan Reynolds was trying to get the first one made for so long. Mm-hmm. He just has like perfected, like he knows that character. Mm-hmm. He knows how to be that character.
Yeah, because...
practically is that character.
Yeah, because he didn't like it in the first one.
Yeah.
He was first that character.
The X-Men Origins.
Yeah.
Which also gets a reference here.
Yeah, exactly, which was hysterical.
That was great.
Yeah, like a full scene with Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
But yeah, all in all, I thought it was a great movie.
I feel like I liked it more than the first one.
Watch our other video that's coming out in like a week or two.
Yeah, we're gonna but that's a video about Movie Pass. Solo coming out. We're gonna be reviewing that.
That will be coming out this week as
next.
well.
Yes.
So stay tuned for those.
And don't forget to subscribe.
Yes, do that as well. So once again, I'm Brooks.
I'm Joe.
And this has been another episode of Cantina Reviews. Like,
it doesn't subvert your expectation.